Hello Curious! Vanessa Hudgens rose to international fame in the hit movie series High School Musical, and now, you might say she's the queen of the holidays. Another production starring her has just been released on Netflix. The Princess Switch free Romancing the Star is currently one of the most popular entries. The star of the teen musical from years ago, Zac Efron's ex-girlfriend, is doing really well in the industry. And despite having a dizzying career at a very young age, she has proven to be a steady, polite, scandal-averse young lady who is a long shot in relationships. However, she has not been spared from some controversies. What scandal does she have on her record? Why did she have to pay compensation for property damage? And do you know what her path to a great career looked like and how she is doing now? Some time ago, she split with her long-term partner, Austin Butler, who is also an actor, and as it turns out, she is in love again. Who is her chosen one this time? Stay with us until the very end to find out all about this star, but before we continue, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. In the eyes of many people, the actors who played the main characters for many years after the end of High School Musical were still remembered, and still are, as teenage kids from a singing musical. However, time flies and they are long-time adults who have worked over the past few years to shed that image everyone associates them with. And while it would seem that after the high-profile teen series, it was Zac Efron who did best with staying popular and getting roles for upcoming movie productions, his ex-girlfriend Vanessa Hudgens is also doing very well in this field. Playing the boyish and delicate Troy Bolton years ago, the 34-year-old actor transformed before our eyes into a muscular man with a mature image and personal charm. He had the opportunity to prove himself as a leading actor in several melodramas, comedies, thrillers, and a famous crime film. Today he is mostly associated with comedy productions such as Neighbours or Dirty Grandpa, where his on-screen co-star was the famous Robert De Niro. And of course, the movie Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil and Vile, where Zac played the role of Ted Bundy, who took many lives in a brutal way. And it was a big hit. Yes, it's safe to say that Efron has managed to leave the image of the High School Musical singing boy behind, but tonight's episode isn't about Zac, so if you'd like to hear more about him, we recommend you check out our other episode, the link to which is displayed on our screen. But first, stick with us and listen to Vanessa's story. Although not everyone probably knows it, she, just like Zac, has not been idle professionally either. The now 32-year-old actress has amassed a number of lead or key roles in various productions over the past decade, and there are too many to list them all here. She has appeared, for example, in the young-oriented crime drama Spring Breakers in 2012, in which she starred with Selena Gomez and Ashley Benson, the adventure and family film Journey to the Mysterious Island with Dwayne Johnson, Michael Caine and Josh Hutcherson, or in the thriller The Frozen Ground from 2013. Let's skip ahead a few years, however, to 2018 to be exact, when the Christmas movie The Princess Switch was released on Netflix, where Vanessa, the protagonist of the production, played two roles simultaneously. This title, for a loose Christmas production, received generally quite favourable reviews and turned out to be quite a hit. Then, in 2019, the actress starred in another Christmas movie called The Night Before Christmas, and in 2020 came the second part of the production, The Princess Switch Switched Again, and this time the actress played as many as 3 characters simultaneously. The production also remained at the top of the Netflix rankings for a long time. And now, a year later, Vanessa is again making the holiday time more pleasant for the viewers as The Princess Switch free Romancing the Star has recently premiered. Once again, the movie was well received and now reigns in some of the most popular Netflix entries in many countries around the world. In recent years, Hudgens has also starred in several other productions such as Second Act, Polar, or Bad Boys for Life, and is currently promoting her latest title, Tick Tick Boom, where she appears alongside Andrew Garfield. But you could say that in the eyes of many, she has started to specialise in Christmas productions. And you, have you watched the latest Princess Switch yet? It is estimated that the 32-year-old has already managed to amass a fortune of $16 million thanks to her career. However, you have to know that she has worked for a long time, since her early childhood years, for all her success. Do you know how it all started? Let's go briefly from the beginning. Vanessa Ann Hudgens was born on December 14, 1988 in Salinas, a city located in the western part of California, as the daughter of Greg, a firefighter by profession, and Gina, who worked office jobs. The actress also has a now 26-year-old sister Stella, and as an interesting fact, we'll add that when the younger Hudgens girl grew up, she followed in Vanessa's footsteps and also became an actress. However, she did not manage to come close to her older sister in terms of achievements. The talent of the now 32-year-old Hudgens was quickly recognized in her childhood by her parents. She herself was interested in acting and singing from an early age, inspired and modeled by her grandparents who were musicians. When she was 7 years old, her father and mother decided to send her to an acting school. Thus, when she was only 8 years old, she began to take her first steps in a theatre with which she travelled to performances from the age of 9. Little Vanessa quickly climbed higher and higher and had a very busy childhood. She fell in love with the arts even more and began to study both acting, singing and dancing more seriously. Starting in 1998, as a 10-year-old, she performed in musical theatre as a singer and appeared in local productions, among other things. About 2 years later, she started attending castings for commercials and TV shows and began to have her first success in this field. Due to her fast-growing career, she and her family moved to Los Angeles, and it happened then she won a role in a TV commercial. As a child, she also worked a lot as a model, for example. She presented clothes of designers and companies with children's and youth clothing, and she also advertised cosmetic products. She briefly attended the Orange County High School of the Arts located in Santa Ana, a city near LA, which caters to middle and high school students gifted in a variety of performing, visual or literary arts, among others. However, the students' responsibilities must have been difficult to balance with the development of professional matters, as she later had an individualized course of study. Because she began homeschooling, she missed out on high school experiences and adventures, but eventually earned her breakthrough role in High School Musical. But about that in a moment. It's still worth mentioning that Vanessa's busy schedule was also a challenge for her family. Despite moving, it was hard for her parents to devote enough time and care to her during career-related matters, as her sister Stella, who is 7 years younger, could not handle the constant travel. For this reason, according to the information we're able to find, 12-year-old Vanessa was living with a caregiver in places where she happened to be working. After a couple of years of putting her best foot forward as an artist, young Vanessa's efforts began to pay off. She managed to get into television productions. Her first acting role was in 2002 in the sitcom Still Standing, and later she appeared in episodes of the series Robbery Homicide Division. Soon it was time for more serious projects and the start of her film career. She was 15 when she landed a role in the 2003 film 13, which also starred Evan Rachel Wood and Nikki Reed. Around this time, she starred in several other titles, and in 2005 she got a role as Gabriela Montez in the first film of the High School Musical series, which, as everyone knows, turned out to be a huge hit, and thus a landmark production in the path of her career. It was one of the most watched Disney Channel films in history, with 7.7 million viewers in the US at the time of its premiere broadcast. Hudgens played a high school girl who falls in love with the captain of the basketball team. They both show a passion for singing, take part in an audition for a school musical, and so their musical adventure begins. It wasn't just Vanessa's career that took off. The young actress triumphed primarily with Zac Efron. And of course, the production brought the girl not only fame, but she also found love on the set. A feeling was born between her and Zac. Their relationship was not made public until 2006, but there were rumours that they started dating as early as 2005. Years later, in 2019, the actress confirmed it in an interview, saying that they formed a bond and met at the very beginning of High School Musical. After 5 years of relationship, their history together began to end. They were last seen at an event together in August 2010, but we will come back to the heart issues and various turbulence in a moment. The performance in Disney's musical production, which in the following years lived to see several parts and millions of fans all over the world, turned out to be a beginning of Vanessa's singing career. She joined the ranks of the young generation of singing actresses such as Hilary Duff, Demi Lovato, Selena Gomez, or her High School Musical setmate Ashley Tisdale. For the film, Hudgens recorded a number of commercially successful songs. The song Breaking Free, a duet with Efron, reached number 4 on the US Billboard Hot 100 and number 9 on the UK charts. Following the success of the first film, in September 2006, Hudgens released her debut studio album featuring the singles Come Back to Me, Stay OK, which had moderate success in several countries. Just before the release of the third film in the series, Vanessa's second album was released, but it was not a commercial success. After this failure, the actress parted ways with the record label Hollywood Records. The last film in the series, released in 2008, High School Musical 3 Senior Year, was also the first to be released in theaters and grossed $42 million on its premiere weekend with a total worldwide earnings of $252 million, exceeding Disney's expectations. Considering this fact, no one should be surprised that the actors were very popular. After the High School Musical series ended, Vanessa confirmed that she was taking a break from her music career to focus more on acting. And so she did. She has successfully taken up acting jobs, mostly on movie sets, and as we told you in a brief at the beginning of our episode. In total, the 32-year-old's portfolio now includes more than 60 productions. Despite Vanessa's dizzying career as a teenager, the actress is one of those stars who doesn't seem to be surrounded in controversies. In her case, it's actually hard to find examples of inappropriate, controversial behaviour with no dramas, numerous romances or too many juicy rumours swirling around her. Vanessa has also eschewed the hard partying lifestyle that often consumes young stars. Besides, this way of life at one point had consumed Efron himself, who struggled with an addiction to high alcohol drinks and other stimulants so much so that he had to check himself into rehab in 2013. Years ago, a young Hudgens insisted that while she loves to dance, she doesn't like to party in clubs because it is not a clean environment. In a past interview, she added that she stays away from stimulants because she knows it's just smart to stay away. The actress has proven to be a long-distance person in relationships. After about 5 years of relationship with Efron, she started dating another actor, Austin Butler, in 2011. They were a couple for almost 9 years and separated in the first half of 2020. Currently, the actress is happily in love again. Her chosen one is younger than her, 24-year-old baseball Pittsburgh Pirates player Cole Tucker. The couple was first spotted in the fall of 2020, so they recently celebrated the first year of their relationship. What do you think? Will Vanessa's relationship this time also turn out to be as long-term as the previous ones? As we mentioned at the beginning, although Hudgens turned out to be a steady young lady, she did not avoid some controversies. Her biggest slip-up was the leak of nude photos, first in 2007 and then in 2009. The actress regretted it very much, however. Unable to undo the situation, she stressed that maybe some people will learn from her mistake. She also sued the party responsible for the publication of photographs taken of her with a cell phone in a private house. The actress also has a small offense on her record. In May 2016, she paid $1,000 in damages for damaging US Forest Service property. Why? Well, this reason is little innocent and sweet, but she should not have done it. She and her now ex-boyfriend Austin Butler carved their initials in a heart on a rock in the Coconino National Forest and showed it off on her Instagram. Say curious, do you like Vanessa Hudgens? Did you know she was such a hard worker since childhood? What movie featuring her did you enjoy the most? And have you already watched the third part of The Princess Switch? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. Until next time.